Among the many grand estates of the Rockefeller family, there is one place nearly forgotten by time. And perhaps that's because this 100-room home was nothing like what people would expect from America's first billionaires. Welcome to 360 Project. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we explore this remarkable home. In the summer of 1910, John D. Rockefeller Jr. stood on a granite cliff in Seal Harbor, Maine, looking out over the deep blue waters and pine-covered islands of Mount Desert, where he made two of the most important decisions of his life: to withdraw from his family's multi-billion-dollar oil empire and to purchase a summer home where he and his wife Abby could raise their children in peace. That windswept moment marked a quiet turning point in the life of a man who had always lived under the immense shadow of his powerful father, John D. Rockefeller Sr., as the only son of the legendary co-founder of Standard Oil. John Jr. was born into immense wealth and constant public scrutiny. From a young age, he was taught that wealth came with responsibility, even a moral obligation to serve society. So despite being the son of one of the richest men in the world, John Jr. still had to do chores to earn his allowance, lived a disciplined, devout, and humble life, shy by nature and without the same business ambition as his father. Nevertheless, he fulfilled his family duty by joining the company after graduating from Brown University in 1897, holding seats on the boards of Standard Oil and U.S. Steel, but out of obligation, not passion. Then, following a major media scandal involving labor unrest in Colorado, John Jr., already uncomfortable in the corporate world, found an opportunity to walk away for good, quietly stepping down from all business roles to turn to philanthropy. And over the course of his life, he donated more than $500 million to causes like medical research and national parks. But back in 1910, he was still learning how to become his own person. And perhaps he wouldn't have had the courage to do so without Abby Aldrich, the woman who inspired him. She grew up among politics and privilege as the daughter of powerful Senator Nelson Aldrich. But she refused to settle for the role of a typical society wife. She was progressive, artistic, witty, and always used her position to uplift others. When they married in 1901, it wasn't just a union of money and power. It was a marriage grounded in shared values and genuine affection. Their life in New York was extravagant. John built a 9-story mansion with an entire floor for each of their children. But by the end of the decade, they both longed for something quieter and found it in Seal Harbor, a small village on Mount Desert Island. There, they purchased a summer home called the Eyrie, a Tudor Revival-style mansion perched on a cliff overlooking the Atlantic. Originally 65 rooms, it was later expanded to 100 by architect Duncan Kendall. But the house was never built to impress. It was built to embrace, with modest, warm interiors filled with souvenirs from their travels: Chinese carpets, Korean statues, Japanese paintings. Abby once wrote to request more decorations from Korea for a room where the children often came by for cookies and quiet chats with their mother. John had his own study, a place for prayer, for negotiating allowances, or gently scolding the kids. And though luxurious, the Eyrie was truly a home. What made it most special wasn't its architecture or setting, but the way they lived in it. Morning walks through the forest, horseback rides along trails that John designed himself, and a serene garden inspired by Asian aesthetics. Abby, together with landscape architect Beatrix Farrand, created it with stone statues from Korea placed along a spirit path, and bricks brought all the way from the Forbidden City. After Abby passed away in 1948, John was devastated. He quietly remarried in 1951, but never again felt whole. And he died in 1960. Not long after, the Eyrie, now empty and too costly to maintain, was demolished. But their true legacy lives on in the forest trails and quiet gardens that still remain to this day. And you? What do you think of the Eyrie? Would you choose a life like this if money were no object? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to 360 Project so you won't miss our next journey.